Good morning, my dear friends. Today we will be studying the lesson Political Parties. Now, you find many associations, many groups of people, many people coming together to form groups, but you do not call all of them as political parties. Political parties, if I can say in simple language, is that association of people who have a single mindset or a single agenda or a single goal, and they take part in the general elections of the country to form the government, or if they lose the election, they form the opposition. So, see here, the definition has been given. A political party is a group of people who come together to contest elections and hold power in the government. Now, how do you recognize a political party, or what do you call the features of a political party? The most important thing is parties contest elections. Yes, every association, cricket association, trade unions, they all have internal elections to elect the president of the association, secretary of the association, and all that. That is different. But this association of people take part in the general elections of the country, where all the people above 18 years, they vote to form, and these people, they form the government. We call them the elected representatives. Parties put forward different policies and programs which the voters, to attract the voters, or the voters feel comfortable with these policies and programs, then they vote for these political parties. Samjhe? In a democracy, a large number of similar opinions can be grouped together to provide a direction in which the policies can be formulated by the government. It helps also. These policies and programs which have been put forward by the political parties help in forming the administrative parties of the government, and usually it is put forward by the ruling party, matlab that party which has won the election. Parties play a decisive role in making laws for the country. They are our elected representatives. Somewhere, someplace, you have to trust them. You have given them the job of representing you in the parliament. So the discussions are held in the parliament. It is every aspect, every point is discussed threadbare. There is support, there is opposition, everything, and finally the laws are framed. But even if, see, after all, they are human beings. Even if there is a wrong decision, these are the political parties which can withdraw and reframe the laws also. Parties form and run the governments. See, as I told you just now, these are the people, association of people who come together to take part in the general elections, and when they win the elections, they form the governments. Now, the parties that lose the election form the opposition, play the role of the opposition. Now, what is the role of the opposition? Now, you will say, ma'am, it is always to criticize the government. Yes, it is always to criticize and keep a check of the government policies, whether they are right or wrong for the country and all that. All these steps are taken. But please remember, if any administrative policy by the government is advantageous for the nation, then the opposition also supports. Because whatever may be their fight, whatever may be their disagreements, but then when it comes for the nation, nation comes first. Understand? Parties shape public opinions. They highlight the issues. Issues are highlighted. They have the means, they have the media control, everything. They highlight the issues and then gain the support of the people also. These parties provide people access to the government machinery and welfare schemes. Many of the schemes we are not aware that the government has given us. It is these political parties which make us aware. There may be some welfare schemes which have been written down in the constitution also. Do you think we have read the constitution fully? Are we aware? Only the lawyers know it, or the judges know it, not the aam janta. Hai na? So that is where the political parties step in. They feel, see, political parties, somewhere you have to trust them. But then why do we need a political party? We need a political party because they perform all the functions that is needed to run the government. They have the experience, they have the means, they have the media, they have the ways to get the work done and represent our country in front of the foreign countries also. Sign treaties, whether these treaties are advantageous for us. They sign deals with other countries to share the know-how. Either we give them the know-how of the other countries, or the other countries share their know-how about agriculture, industry, trade, everything with us. So it is possible only by the political parties. See, political parties have come into being because of the representative democracies. When we have direct democracy, there is no need for a political party. Individual candidates can be there. But then when we have a mass of people who cannot sit in the, all of us who cannot sit in the government, and that is when the political parties come into view. But now the question arises, how many parties should we have? One political party, a single political party, it is an advantage and a disadvantage. Advantage is if the head of this political party is a non-corrupt man, then he will work towards the development of the nation. If he is a corrupt man, if he is a dictator, then what will happen to the people of the country? Then bi-party system, two parties, where there are only two political parties, like we have in America and in UK. America, Democrats and Republicans. So either of the political parties, if one loses, the other is in the opposition. But in India we have a multi-party system, where we have the choice of various parties also. Matlab, you have a choice of which party to select. You have a variety of choices, but the disadvantage is whom to choose. Then the confusion arises, whom to choose. This appears messy and leads to political instability, but at the same time this system allows a variety of interests and opinions to enjoy political representation. You have a wide choice, but then it leads sometimes to confusion, messy politics and all that. It leads to coalition government, but then we have a good choice for our country. Now, which party do you term as national party? Now, parties that are present with only one federal unit. Now, parties which are present at the national level and several states of the country, we call them the national party. Understand? Then there are parties which are the stranglehold of the states. We call them the state parties. Okay. Now, see, All India Trinamool Congress. Now launched on 1st January 1998 under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee. This party's symbol is flower and grass, and the party, it has its roots not only in West Bengal but also in Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur and Tripura, and that's why, and even takes part in the central elections. Then Bahujan Samajwadi Samaj Party. This was started basically for the Bahujan Samaj, meaning the backward classes, the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes, by Kansi Ram. So now basically it supports the OBC, Adivasis, Dalits and all that, and it is on the inspiration drawn from Sahu Maharaj, Mahatma Phule, Periyar Ramaswamy Naikar and Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Now this party not only has its main base in Uttar Pradesh but also in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, Delhi and Punjab. Okay. Now BJP. BJP, founded in 1980, is the ruling party as of today in India. It is a national party also, and it was started by Shyama Prasad Mukherjee in 1951. But Bharatiya Jansangh it was basically. It was not Bharatiya Janata Party. Basically, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee wanted to form a strong and modern India, drawing inspiration from India's ancient culture and all that. But then with the modernization and all that, it has changed to National Democratic Alliance, bringing many regional parties into its umbrella, and it has won the elections today. Right from 2014, it is the ruling party. CPI, Communist Party of India, where see just sickle and the this one, what to say, sickle and the grain. It was started in 1925 because of the ideas of Leninism, secularism, and democracy, but it became weak in 1964 because basically people look on with suspicion to socialism. Now you find its main presence in Kerala, West Bengal, Punjab, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu. Basically you find its stronghold in West Bengal and Kerala. Okay, now Communist Party of India. Now you see sickle and a hammer with a star. It was also founded in 1964. It also believes in Leninism. It also believes in socialism, secularism, and democracy. And it has its roots in West Bengal, Kerala, and Tripura. Now comes the most important party, which was started in 1885, that is Indian National Congress. Now this the symbol of this is the hand. Now this party was responsible for leading India to gain independence, but under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, he built a modern secular state. But then the ruling party till 1977, it was the most important party in India, ruling not only in the center but also in many states of India. But then from 1980 to 89, its support started waning off, and after the assassination of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, then Rajiv Gandhi and all that, this party has seen a steady decline, and it lost its election in 2014. Okay, now National Congress Party, NCP. This party, you will see, it is one of the most important parties of Maharashtra. It was formed in 1999 following a split from Congress, but it has supported the main Congress party always. But it also has a significant presence in Meghalaya, Manipur, and Assam. Okay, now state parties. Now, as I told you, there are some political parties which have their stranglehold in states. Like Jammu and Kashmir, you have NC, National Conference, PDP, Panthers Party. Then you have in Uttar Pradesh, you have Bahujan Samajwadi Party. Then Rashtriya Janata Dal, then you have Janata Dal also. And then see, if you look at the Aam Aadmi Party also, it enjoys support in Delhi also. Then now if you come to Tamil Nadu, you have All India, AIA, DMK, and DMK also. See, you have in Tamil Nadu. See, these are some of the political parties which have their stronghold there. Now the tables have turned so much so that the central parties take the help of the state parties to lay a foundation in the states. Okay, now what are the challenges faced by the political parties? Now political parties, we say, but it is not easy to handle a political party. The first thing is lack of internal democracy. Now, new members, they find it difficult to have a foothold in the political parties. They do not keep a membership register. It is done mainly. Some of the political parties like Congress and all, they go in a proper way, but not all parties, they have the register or membership and all that. But if you see the new entrants into the party, they have to go a long way in having their voice heard. It is always like you have the old stalwarts who have a say in the political parties. So usually what happens is the new ideas do not find the light of the day. The second challenge is dynastic succession. Most of the political parties, if you watch, they are like the dynastic rules. समझे. Like you have the NC, it is in the hands of the Abdullahs. Then PDP, it is in the hands of the Muftis. So if these parties win, naturally a person from that family only becomes the chief minister of the party. Now the third thing is money and muscle power. This is basically seen in Uttar Pradesh, where money and muscle power have a prominent say in forming representatives or in candidates taking part in the elections. Fourth challenge is there is no meaningful choice. मतलब roti, kapda or makan, that's the maxim. See, today we have a modern world. The younger generation wants something more than roti, kapda or makan. There is no meaningful choice. The same old gisa pita. Parties, they are not different. They are not giving any new ideas so that it can attract the younger generation to come and vote for the political parties. Okay. Now, if you want to, now the government has taken steps so as to keep the political parties under certain disciplinary way. See now, defection. Now, see, when an election is over, most of the time it is found that the parties, they keep their MLAs secure. Sometimes they hide their MLAs in remote areas and all that, so that other political parties do not take away their MLAs. Now with the anti-defection law, what has happened is, we want the parties, political parties who have won the elections, to work towards the administration of the country and not be busy in keeping their MLAs safe or not do horse trading. Okay, so this anti-defection law has been brought about. So the Supreme Court passed an order to reduce the influence of money and criminals. Now it is mandatory for every candidate to file an affidavit giving details of his property and criminal cases pending against him. We do not want criminals. If there is any criminal case pending against him, then he has to see to it that it is totally cleared. It should not be pending, and there should be no room for corruption or grabbing of property or making unprecedented amount of property and all that. Halanki it is done, but then Benami accounts and all that is usually done. So the Election Commission demands an affidavit. The Election Commission passed an order to make it necessary for political parties to hold their organizational elections and file their income tax returns. Mostly it is, what happens is, these political parties take the help of business communities to win the election. Now these business communities, they give them the money and all that, but then the Election Commission demands income tax returns to be filed, because these parties also have their personal incomes also. Besides these, the learned or the learned community of India has given certain suggestions also. A law should be made to regulate the internal affairs of the political parties, to see whether they are really having elections, whether the money rules or muscle power rules, whether there is internal democracy and all that. It should be made mandatory for the political parties to give a minimum number of tickets, about 1/3, to the women candidates. This is to ensure that other than the panchayats, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha also have 1/3 of the seats reserved for women. There should be a state funding for elections, which is usually overlooked. Understand, this is a suggestion, but usually what happens, elections are a costly affair. There should be a limit to the spending by the political parties for elections, but which is usually not adhered to. They have not been accepted. See, these suggestions are not accepted by the political parties. But being in a democratic country, we have to see to it that we are not to sit back and just be onlookers. Understand? We have to form our pressure groups in such a way that we pressurize that these reforms be brought about, and our political parties who are, what to say, elections is all out. How much of money goes in campaigning and all that. So instead of that, try to bring a control on the spending by the political parties just to win the elections. Okay,